Hello, it is Saturday, September 25th, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. Thank you so much to the several dozen of you who have already signed up to support this channel on my new Patreon campaign, which is at patreon.com/dailysolve. And for those of you who have signed up to the Patreon, there are already 2 bonus videos up for you. A week of mini crossword speed solves and the September bonus monthly crossword puzzle from the New York Times. So again, thank you so much to those of you who have done that. And I will be thanking a few of those people by name at the end of this episode who have backed at a particularly generous level. But thank you to everyone who has done so, or simply for watching the video. Thank you for that. Anyway, this is a Saturday puzzle, of course. The most difficult puzzle of the week, most likely. And I feel as though this has been a relatively smooth solving week, all things considered. So I am this could be entirely superstition. I am expecting today to be a little tougher because it does tend to all balance out. There's sort of a karmic element to the difficulty of the New York Times crossword over the course of a week, I find, but we'll just have to see. Before we do determine that, let's talk about some clues from yesterday's puzzle. One of the answers that I found most baffling, I think, in the puzzle, and to be honest, I'm not any less baffled now, was gyro, G-I-R-O, referring to an alternative to a copter, which I took to mean a gyrocopter, which I think is correct. Duke Garland says, there are gyrocopters and helicopters. The difference is how the big spinny blades on the top operate. In the helicopter, they are powered and pull the vehicle through the air. In gyrocopters, there's something else pushing the vehicle through the air, and those rotor blades provide lift in more like what wings of an airplane do. The air has to be pushed up through them. For comparison, helicopter blades push the air down themselves. That means gyrocopters cannot hover. Autogyro is another word for gyrocopter. There's another word in this area of knowledge with gyro. Gyrodyne is an aircraft that uses the rotor like a helicopter for takeoff and landing, but uses it as a gyrocopter does during the flight. And then Alex adds on another comment and says, I wasn't able to find any evidence that G-I-R-O as a spelling for G-Y-R-O, as in gyrocopter or autogyro, is actually used by anyone in English, although it's listed in most of the major English dictionaries. I had the same experience. I actually searched around a great deal, and I couldn't really find any evidence that G-I-R-O is actually used as an abbreviation for this. So this is very strange fill in the crossword. Chaz Maru says, congrats on the Patreon. You never went back to Group of Pelicans, but it happened to be your own bête noire, a sports-themed clue. The answer was the NBA. The New Orleans Pelicans are a National Basketball Association team, As a Frenchman, I had never bothered to research the origin of the idiom bête noire, black beast, but it is, unsurprisingly, linked to the myth of black cats being associated with witches, Satanism, and misfortune. Bête noire became a popular idiom in French literature around the 18th century to describe a character's nemesis or frequent source of misfortune. So that was very interesting. Rohan Smith points out that SCUBA, the acronym that I did not attempt to solve. I'm usually okay at guessing acronym names, but I didn't think I would get this one right, and I don't think I would have. It's self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. And Ben Ward replies to point out it's surprising that they had apparatus in the clue, which is true. In fact, I probably wouldn't have guessed it contained apparatus specifically because apparatus was in the clue. That seems like a strange break with the typical New York Times cluing rules, or at least what I understand the rules to be, which is that even with an acronym, you wouldn't have part of the answer in the clue. Okay, Jordan C. finally, I may not read this entire comment, but it's quite interesting, says, speaking of idioms, as a creative writing student, I'm currently taking a class called The Power of Metaphor, and a recent topic of discussion was that so many metaphors in English are baked into the language and are more conceptual than anything else. The idea that argument is equal to war, winning and losing, or shooting down an argument, or that ideas and thoughts are plants. The idea took root, growing understanding, and then, of course, seeds are related to that. are so natural to native English speakers that we hardly even think about the fact that these are metaphors, whereas a non-native speaker might not immediately recognize them. Similarly, idioms were brought up, and my teacher noted that autistic people have difficulty with some idioms as well, if not explicitly explained. A couple of examples are "it's raining cats and dogs" and "on the other hand." If you don't know the phrase, you might literally look at the speaker's other hand. So yes, that's a very good point. We do speak constantly in metaphor and idiom, which often many idioms are metaphors, without really thinking about it or considering the fact that that's what we're doing. So yes, it is just an interesting facet of language, I suppose, and absolutely worth consideration. So let's get on to Saturday's crossword, which may well be full of obscure idiom, as a Saturday puzzle could well be, or obscure knowledge. This is a puzzle constructed by Adam Simon Levine, edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Are we ready to get started? Yes. Okay. All right, an industrial VIP. Industrial VIP. So I assume that it's going to be abbreviated in some way because VIP is an abbreviation, a very important person. I don't know, though. Industrial VIP. I don't know. I keep thinking of things like mogul, which is not abbreviated in any way. But a street musician, actually, looking at one down, is a busker. So perhaps, what is this? Big... I don't know, I'm sorry. Flower that's also the name of a Downton Abbey character. Oh boy, I haven't seen Downton Abbey in so many years. I just do not remember this. Sorry. Okay, developing after in. Could be in utero, as in a fetus. Rock group. Run through, loose. Run through, rehearse, or... loose. Mahatma in translation. So this was the honorific for Mohandas Gandhi. Great, I want to say great something. Grand opening. If this were G, grand opening. Not really seeing what that is. I mean, it could be G-E-E to represent a G, the letter G phonetically. Sports agent, tell him, no idea. Pulled in. Reined in, could be reined in. There are 70 in a Shakespearean sonnet. Well, it could end with S. There are 70 in a Shakespearean sonnet. What are there? 7 iambs, maybe? Would that make sense? An iamb is an iambic pentameter, so there are 5 iambs in a Shakespearean line. An iamb is that collection of 2 syllables. The first is unstressed and the second is stressed, and that gives that lilting quality to Shakespeare. Now I can't think of any lines. I think, how now my cousin is the day so young. I mean, you wouldn't read it in that sort of annoying lilting way, but that's a good, how now my cousin is the day so young. I could be misquoting that. I think it's from Romeo and Juliet. But you get that 5 collection of that unstressed stress, and each one of those is an iamb. So I wonder if that's what this is. Some muscle cars. Well, if this is great, which it looks like it might be at this point, this could be GTOs. Pontiac GTOs. This came up in the puzzle 2 weeks ago, maybe a week or 2 ago. Tell 'em. Could be Ari or Ara. Art. Those all start with A. Oh, Marigold. Okay, I don't remember that character at all. I don't even, maybe that character was introduced after I'd stopped watching Downton Abbey, or I just don't remember, more likely. So grand opening. Oh, MGM Grand. I've heard of that. That's a hotel in Las Vegas, I think. A big sort of casino hotel. Greek goddess of memory. Well, doesn't look like T. I think That looks right to me, but I can't, I'm not going to be able to spell the rest of it. I'm not going to be able to remember the rest of it offhand. So this is great something, I think. World War II spy group is OSS. Could this be, okay, with an S, could this be Great Soul? That sounds familiar to me. Stalwart. Loyal one. One, that's a little iffy, but loyal seems reasonable for stalwart. It may be in your genes. Genes, obviously here spelled as the article of clothing, not as the ones related to alleles from yesterday's puzzle, which I forgot to, or 2 days ago, I forgot to read some explanatory comments about alleles. So sorry about that. If you're someone who helpfully explained alleles, you can go to yesterday's puzzle or 2 days, whatever it was. 2 days ago's puzzle, I suppose, to read the comments, and alleles must have been 3 days ago. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Tragic lover of myth. Hopefully this is more obvious with some crosses. Let's see. Imperial title. Oh, it could be Kaiser. German imperial title based on Caesar or Kaiser. Turkish honorific Aga. That comes up sometimes. Legal conclusion. This could simply be a cute way of referring to a suffix that could follow legal. So legalese, maybe. Loose. Oh, at ease, maybe. If you are loose. Metaphorically, I guess, you are at ease. Okay, so let's see. Industrial VIP. What is that? I still am just not seeing it. International telephone prefix for Russia. 7, perhaps? Wow, what an obscure piece of knowledge. I mean, obviously, we're intended to get this entirely through crosses. Are there any other numbers this could be? I don't see how it could be. I think it has to be 7. So run through could be review, not revise. Review, okay. And a rock group could be ores, as in a metal ore. Oh, an industrial VIP is a baron. Okay, so it's not abbreviated. Oh, fair enough. I guess in this case, VIP is considered to be so much the common way of referring to a very important person. No one ever really says very important person, that it probably could serve as an acronym indicator, but doesn't need to. And on a Saturday, I suppose it's there to confuse you, perhaps. Okay, campaign catchphrase of 1988. Wow. Okay, this is not something that I think anyone who's didn't grow up in the U.S. is going to know. And even if you did grow up in the U.S., I think you had to have grown up either in the early 80s or any time before that, so that you were at an age where you'd remember this. This is pretty obscure in my opinion, but I only happen to remember it for a very strange reason, which is that in my elementary school, my primary school, it was I don't know, I was very young, and we were putting on a class play, and each of us had to illustrate a potential program for the play, and then the best one, I guess, I don't remember how it worked, but the best one would be chosen, would become the program for the play. And I have no memory of what the play was about, but I think at this time, perhaps it might have been George H.W. Bush's re-election campaign. And 1988, the campaign indicated here would have been George H.W. Bush's first, that would have been the campaign in the election in which he was elected president. He only served one term because he lost to Bill Clinton in 1992. And I think he made a pledge, which was read my lips, no new taxes. And then that got repeated constantly, because at some point, I guess, in his presidency, I don't know if he technically broke it or not, but he raised a tax or did something to the tax code. And then that was used to basically say he didn't fulfill his promises. And so this clip of him saying, read my lips, no new taxes, was on television constantly. And I guess it just sort of seeped into my brain because my parents watched the news or whatever. And my submission for the program to this play was bafflingly, because I'm certain the play had absolutely nothing to do with this, with a picture of George H.W. Bush sort of sticking out of what I think was actually not the White House, but incorrectly the Capitol building, saying, "Read my lips, no new taxes." And I just, in the way that a child sort of, something goes in their brain and they have no idea what it means, but get fixated on it, that was my submission to this. And so anyway, since I've always remembered "read my lips, no new taxes," and that's how I very implausibly actually remember this fairly obscure bit of American political lingo. So there you go. I'm sorry that took so long. Okay. Like favorite films, typically, they're rewatched. Chickens Out, Rowdy Dow. Rowdy Dow. I don't think I'm familiar with that word, but it sounds like a ruckus to me because of the rowdy bit. Poet Silverstein is Shel Silverstein, wrote, what did he write? The something at the end of the something. He wrote, I can't remember any specific Shel Silverstein works, unfortunately, which is strange because you'd think that would be the kind of thing I would remember from my childhood and not "read my lips, no new taxes," because I certainly had books by Shel Silverstein that I'm sure I enjoyed more than the political oratory of George H.W. Bush. Anyway, Chickens Out must be Wusses Out. Like Dry Mud on a Dog's Paws would be Caked, I suppose. Oops. Nope. Backwards. Oops. Caked. Drew in. Why am I not seeing what this is? Do I have something else wrong? Confront could be accuse. It's full of fiber. At blank, befuddled. I think accuse might be incorrect. Long lunches. Long lunches with a question mark. What does that mean? Maybe a long sandwich? Heroes? Sometimes you refer to a submarine sandwich as a hero. At a loss. Befuddled is at a loss. So maybe, okay. Oh, so confront is not accuse, it's a cost. Okay, that's much better. What is this going to be? CXUL? Wow. Oh, site of the impact of the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Wow. Oh boy, was it in Central America somewhere? So you could have this sort of Mayan name sort of thing, maybe? I'm not gonna know what it is. I'm gonna have to get it all with crosses, I suppose. Mexican dish named after a small boat. Don't know offhand. Hopefully that's more obvious with a couple crosses. I would like to think I would know that. Rooftop landing sites could be helipads. We could land our gyro there, I guess. 1960s and 70s detective series set in San Francisco. I don't think I know, actually. I was born in San Francisco, but this would be before my time, certainly. Maybe I'll remember it after I see crosses. It's full of fiber. Right, I'm not sure. I guess we've actually skipped quite a few clues. Let's back up and see. Big family could be a clan. Like Seth, among the offspring of Adam and Eve. Third, I suppose. The third son, third offspring. And then what is, have we seen this yet? Oh, it may be in your genes. Dungaree? I mean, I know that Lee's Dungarees is a brand of jeans. I don't actually know what a dungaree is, funnily enough. Yeah, I don't know what dungaree is, but I assume by this time tomorrow I will know. Stalwart, a loyalist. Not a loyal one, but a loyalist. That's much better. Gotcha. Here we have rhetorical inversion device seen in champagne for my real friends and real pain for my sham friends. Right, so yes, as it says, this is a rhetorical inversion. We've sort of inverted some of these syllables, swapped them around to create a clever couplet, but I don't know what it's called. Like the red panda, blue whale, and black rhino. Is there something about these where the name is sort of inaccurate for some reason? I don't think so, actually. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, a red panda is red, isn't it? I've seen those. And a blue whale is blue, certainly. What is... Okay, let's see. Tragic lover of myth. Leandra? Oh boy, this is... Uh-oh. We've got two proper nouns crossing, which can be always can be quite a danger. All right, gotcha. Not sure. Let's keep looking. Some avian homes. Nests, I suppose? I mean, that's pretty straightforward for a Saturday so far, I think, based on this what this puzzle's been like. Drew in. Why am I not seeing drew in? Very strange. Interim. Presage. So to sort of predict or forecast or foresee something, I guess, more accurately. Shipping option for books. Oh, this is, I think, another something else that's specific to the United States. This is media mail. There's a long-standing law in the United States that books must be able to be sent at the lowest rate in the post in order to facilitate education and the spread of knowledge. And that actually has extended to CDs and records and I think videotapes and DVDs and things as well. So if you're sending those things in the United States, you can send them, it can be slower than other methods, but you can send them at a very cheap shipping rate. Just something to keep in mind. And that's called media mail. Okay, let's see. Here we have county that's split in two by the Grand Canyon. I do not know. Presage. Oh, bode. Bode. Yes, something bodes well or bodes ill, for instance. Okay. Some avian homes. So it's not nests. I thought that was too obvious. But I'm not sure what it is, actually. What's over here? Low on energy. Enter by force. Invade, I suppose? Word finishing ring or band. Leader, ringleader, band leader. Raleigh to Richmond direction, so it'll be either east by northeast or north by northeast. Looks more like north, doesn't it? Kind of typeface or Pepperidge Farm cookie. Well, Geneva is a typeface. I hope that's a type of Pepperidge Farm cookie. A typeface, essentially a font. I think they're technically different. They mean technically different things, but it's fair enough, close enough. Yeah, there's certainly a typeface called Geneva. Let's see. Blank metongere. I don't know Latin. Latin warning. Oof, I don't know. Probably starts with no if it's a warning, I would think. Oh, and a wanderer is a nomad. So yes, that's the case. Oh, low on energy is anemic. There we go. That tracks there. Okay. A handy device for making gazpacho. I don't know, a ricer or a dicer maybe? Do you need to chop things up very finely to make gazpacho? Drop, in a way, could be elide, as in a syllable. Drop a syllable, elide a syllable from a word. Dicer looks better than ricer here because this clue says, like the black panda, blue whale, and black rhino. So I assume this is going to be something that describes these three animals. And therefore, the D is something that would be more likely in an adjective, right? Just as an example, this is not the answer, but if they were misnamed, for instance, so it would end with a D. So that's my suspicion. Okay, let's keep going. Newswoman Roberts. Okay, this actually came up a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point in the series. Cokie Roberts, I think, is what this is looking for. This is one of those things you just have to know it. Capybara, for one. A capybara is an animal. What sort of animal is a capybara? I don't really know. I mean, it's a little sort of cute, little roundish, four-legged creature. Don't really know much about it, though, I must admit. Boosts. What has a P in the middle and is boosts? Oh, ups maybe? Sort of colloquially, to up your game, to boost your game. Perhaps that's what that means. Mexican dish named after a small boat. Chalupa, maybe? It's full of fiber. Sport with a capture the flag variety. Oh, maybe this isn't Koki. Sorry. You know what? I think actually I remember a different newswoman Roberts, also from the puzzle within the last month or so, Nora Roberts. But I keep wanting the sport with a capture the flag variety. I keep wanting to be paintball, and none of those are fitting. So maybe I just don't know this Roberts, or maybe it's not paintball. Because if this were chalupa, then this PA really suggests to me paintball for sport with a capture the flag variety. Could this be an I? Detective series. I just don't know. It's full of fiber. Lint? Oh, maybe that is the case, actually. Lint from clothing, for instance. Clothing fibers. Maybe that's what that is. Oh, boy, though. This is just brutal. I don't want to put anything in there until I'm very confident. Food dyes. Additives, I guess? Yeah, okay. That works. So this, I bet this is paintball with that PA, if that's PA. And then here we have drug known by its German initials. Oh, LSD, I suppose? Interesting. Spy novelist Dayton, looks like Len or Lou. I think Len Dayton has come up in the crossword before. Turned vertically on, put on end, something with end. County that's split in two by the Grand Canyon. Oh. Is it the Mojave? Is that what that is? It sounds wrong. Palindromic number in Italian. Well, the palindromic isn't helping us with these because they're already filled and they're already in a palindromic position. I mean, this will be a vowel. We can certainly say that. Oh, auto probably, right? For 8? That looks right. Look what I found. Could be oh-ho, maybe? Oh-ho, look what I found. Maybe not. Maybe ooh. That's Mojave. Newswoman Roberts. I guess I just don't know this one. Unless it is Koki. Paint something called... No. These have to be correct. This must be paintball. Paint... Yeah, it must be. Nope, sorry, what am I doing? Okay. Quibble could be a nitpick, for instance. Turned vertically. Oh, sat on end. There we go, sorry. Oh, Robin Roberts? I don't think I've ever heard of that person. Capybara for 1. Oh, a rodent. A capybara is a rodent. There we go. Okay. Ah, the red panda, blue whale, and black rhino are threatened species. There we go. That's what binds them together. A very clever clue, finding 3 animals with colors in their names, because it really does make you think it really might be something related to their coloring. Is that it's sort of deceptive coloring or something? Gotcha. What is this? Maybe Liat, maybe this R is incorrect. Oh, yes, that was incorrect. I'm sorry. OIC. Gotcha. OIC. And then I keep thinking Druin is sedated, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Rhetorical inversion device seen in Champagne for my real friends and Real Friend for my sham friends. Okay, what is this? Is it something to do with a chimera? Is it referencing a chimera because we're sort of combining 2 things? Is it something ism, chiism, chism? Oops. Could there be an S here? Some avian homes. Well, yeah, that could be an S. Why am I not seeing what this is? Interim. I feel as though some of these, this I definitely I don't have a clue, but some of these feel as though I really should be getting it, and I apologize for that. Chiasm. Interim. Oh my goodness, this is driving me crazy. Why am I not seeing this? Interim. Open. I mean, I keep thinking opening or something. That's obviously incorrect. I'm very sorry. Some avian homes. What is this? Interim. Oops. Sorry. Maybe this isn't O. Maybe this is I see. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry about that. Oof. I shouldn't have put in OIC like that. I should have considered that it could equally be IC as OIC because interim is acting. In other words, if you're the interim president of a society or something, or the acting president while they find the permanent role. Oops. And then, so maybe in homes could be coats. That just sounds familiar to me. And then Druin is seduced, of course. Goodness me. Okay. What is this, though? Oh, crater. This must be a crater. So this is chiasm or chiasm, the rhetorical inversion device. I'll have to look that up. That looks right to me, but I'm going to look it up. And then tragic lover Leander. That looks right. So then what is this? And what is this? Oh. No. Oh, maybe turned vertically is set on end, because then this would be side. Yeah, I've been too presumptuous with these words that could go either way, and that has caused me some challenge. So, all right. So if this were lint, this would be iron side. Now, do I think that is all correct? I mean, I think it's my best guess, probably. So lint does look right to me here. And so this would be Chicxulub crater. I'm sorry for absolutely massacring that word. Chicxulub crater. I don't know. Let's try it. No. Something's wrong. Should have expected that. Okay. Okay. Should I just go through the whole puzzle? I guess I probably should. All right, let's do it. Sorry, everyone. Okay, Great Soul 7. This could be wrong. If it's memory, we could start with MN, as in mnemonic device. So this would be ARN. Is that right? I don't know. I mean, Arnold could be short for Arnold. And then it would be MNE would be how I'd usually think of that. Oh. What is this? I don't think I looked at this. Abbreviation in a birth announcement. NBS. That doesn't look right. It could be LBS for pounds. And then this would be reeled in, not reined in. And then this would look much more correct to me. There we go. That's done it. Okay. Bit of a detour there. Sorry about that. Got there in the end, which is all that counts. I think in a crossword solving competition, I think I've never actually participated in a crossword solving competition. I think there's some element by which it matters if when you submit it, you have to sort of decide, I'm submitting this, and then at that point you're committing to whatever your answers are. Whereas obviously here, I just sort of, when I put the last thing in, it automatically submits. You don't choose to have it submit, so you have to sort of put in your last letter and use that as your submission. But I didn't actually review the grid before doing so, which I never do. I guess I could. I don't know. I maybe would have seen this. Abbreviation in a birth announcement. That's probably what would have tipped me off, because NBS didn't. I just never even, I don't think I ever even saw that clue. Or I think I maybe did at the beginning and skipped over it. Anyway, got there in the end. I would say that was a pretty tricky puzzle. I would say that indeed was on the tricky side. As I sort of predicted, I thought this week sort of bode ill for the Saturday crossword, and I believe I was essentially correct in that. Let me know how you fared. This is absolutely bananas, this fill here. I mean, it's a great piece of information, and I can't really fault the inclusion of it. You just have to be confident from the crosses, which I think is Fair enough. I think the main thing that would be difficult would be chalupa if you simply didn't know that word. Ironside, I've actually never heard of that series, but I think if you had enough of the crosses, you could just infer maybe that it's Ironside. I mean, that's what I did, and I think that's reasonable enough. No new taxes would be tough, but again, campaign suggests something political. If you had enough of the crosses, you could probably get there. I mean, certainly the X wouldn't. I don't think that would be the thing that would trip you up if you had the rest of it, because taxes are common political language. But I don't know. Let me know. Let me know how you fared. This is indeed a difficult puzzle. I'm not trying to suggest it isn't. I'm trying to reckon in particular with this crater and just trying to imagine the experience that other people have with it, because this was a pure cross solve for me in this particular case, and I would imagine for most people. So yes, do let me know how you fared with this puzzle. And if you like this series, please subscribe to the channel, and you'll see these videos as they go up on a daily basis. And if you particularly enjoy this series, why not consider subscribing to the Patreon channel? The Patreon campaign, where you can get some bonus content like those mini puzzle speed runs, the monthly bonus puzzle from the New York Times. If you back at a higher level, you will, after 3 months of support, you will get an exclusive mug that the people backing at that level will be able to vote on the design for. So I'll have to start coming up with some different options for people to vote on there. And also at those levels, I will thank you personally on these videos for helping produce this series in a sustainable way. So thank you to today, Resmi and Rahul, for helping this series continue. And particular thanks to Hood Monster. So thank you so much to you, to everyone who has supported the Patreon, and simply to everyone for watching. You can also join the Discord server. Anyone can join that, actually. You don't need to back the Patreon to do so, but there is an additional private channel for those who have backed. The link to the Discord is in the description. And if you're a Patreon backer, you can link your Patreon membership to the Discord to get your benefits on there. Anyway, I won't talk about this in as much detail every day, but since it's so new, I figured I would explain it at a little bit greater length than I probably usually will. So, if you think you know someone who might like this series, why not pass it on? They might enjoy it. You never know. Give it a shot. And I hope you join me tomorrow for what will most likely, almost certainly, I think, be a more straightforward puzzle than this in many ways, but also probably a longer puzzle in terms of the solve time. And that is the Sunday puzzle, the final puzzle of the solving week. So come back then. I hope to see you. But until that point, have an excellent rest of your Saturday. Take care.